else there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, we're going to ask the question, how strong is your bench, really? We're going to compare your bench press to records, national and world records, and drug-tested federations to see how your bench press compares. Before I get into this topic, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. If you need coaching, check out the link down below. All right. So let me make this a little bit bigger and push my ugly head to the bottom here. We got two charts here, and things are a little bit pieced together, and I'll explain to you what they are. About 10 years ago, the bottom chart was put together based on current national or world records in drug-tested federations, basically raw with wraps. And this, I put together this chart based as part of a strength standards article. And basically, I looked at USAPL, 100% raw, NASA, ADFPF, and UPA drug tested. And I looked at their top national or world records per weight class. And you can see the bottom chart. We have weight class 132 through 308. And we have the world record. Now, on the right hand, where you see the right hand of the bottom table, where you see 265, 291, 370, that's the average. So that's the average national or world record for these federations. Now, this was 10 years ago. So what I thought I would do is not only have you guys compare where your strength stand, where your bench press is compared to 10 years ago, but to look how the bench standards have evolved or grown in 10 years and to see where you compare now. Now, the chart on the top is basically the same thing. We have our weight classes. We have the world records for different federations. And in the reddish pink column, that's the average. So you have from 312 all the way to 537. And in the far right column on the top chart, we have a plus. This is how much the bench press average has gone up in the last 10 years for these weight classes. So this is an increase in average amongst 5 federations. Now, I will note the top chart, I did not use UPA drug tested. The top chart, I added in the USPA. So we have a little bit different as far as federations. Some of them, the ADFPF is a little bit light, but, you know, we're looking at 5 different federations. So it provides us with a reasonable snapshot. We're not trying to get super scientific. So let's dive into some numbers real quick. Just looking at averages and changes, the columns on the far right, you can see that basically a lot of the lower weight classes under 200 had pretty consistent jumps. The 132-pound class had a 47-pound average jump. The 148 really jumped up, plus 85 pounds. The 181 class really jumped up with plus 72. And this is an average amongst 5 different federations. And the 242-pound class really took a big leap as well, which tells me there's a lot of lifters who aren't bloat lords who are really putting up some pretty big bench numbers. Now, let's dive into things. Let's look at, say, the 181, 165, 198 for starters. The world record, or the average world record for 181, used to be around 376 pounds 10 years ago. So now it is 448. The 181-pound class has now an average world or national record of 448 pounds. I used to think 10 years ago that 376, was pretty reasonable for 181. You have guys like lifters like Alpha Destiny and guys in those classes, that used to be pretty reasonable and we could wrap our mind around it. But now 181 is 448, which is absolutely ridiculous. You look at the lighter weight classes like 165, the old average used to be around 370. So there wasn't a big difference in average between the 165 and 181 class, 370 to 376 average. And now there's a little bit more different, a little bit greater distance between the classes. The 181 has shot up a little bit more. The 198 class, the world record average used to be 414, and now it is 468, which is just incredible. It's just an incredible number. It's not that far behind the average world record for the 220 class. You can see once you get up into big boy land, like the 275s and 308s, the numbers really haven't jumped a lot. A lot of the bigger progress has been in some of the lighter weight classes. So, back in the day, 10 years ago, there was a lot of discussion, is powerlifting dying? There was a lot of discussion about how powerlifting was dying, but you can see the sport has really taken off. The standards have really, really jumped in 10 years. 10 years ago, if you had a 315-pound bench at 165 or 181, you were doing darn good. And here, if you're in 165 and 181, you got a 315-pound bench, you're not even close to the world record. So let's look. Where do you guys compare? Let's look at the top chart. Let's look at the top chart. Where do you guys compare? Let's say you're the 220 class. The average world record is 485 pounds. How do you guys compare? For those of you, drop a comment down below. If you're in the 220-pound class or your weight is around 220, how far off are you from that 485 average? Let's go to guys lower than 200 pounds, 198 pounds. Where do you compare to 468? There's a 468-pound average national world record. And 181. 181, I got out of the military at like 177. The 181 class is at 448. That just blows my mind. That absolutely blows my mind. And the 165 class, the average is 415. So let me know where you guys compare. Drop your weight down below. Drop your bench. And let me know where you compare versus these world records. Now, I'll show you one other thing. Back in the day, 10 years ago, I put together extremely strong and elite strength standards. And the extremely strong, the weaker one is above. The extremely strong, that was pretty impressive. You have a pretty impressive bench. And the elite natural raw records were right below it. If you look at the 181 class, extremely strong for bench used to be about 265, and elite for 181 used to be about 315. And boy, have those standards bumped up a little bit. I haven't put together new charts on this, but I wanted to show you guys this just as a reference point to see how things have changed. I still consider a 315-pound bench to be extremely impressive for the average gym lifter, and I will stand by that because regardless of how the records are growing, you don't see many gym lifters get to 315 pounds, and that is a quality standard. And I would say just getting to 275 pounds on your bench is a really, really good goal. So, guys, let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. So, guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.